Oh.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm fine. Fine, thanks.
I'm gonna
How are
introduce
you?
I'm doing great. I'm doing okay. I might be a little stuffy sounding this podcast because I've been sick for almost a week again.
Yeah, I got my voice back.
I know we couldn't. We
Like,
were gonna do a
like
podcast last week, and then you were like, "I can't talk. Can't happen."
I still couldn't talk. It was like a month, and now I'm like me, 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 me. Like, I got my whole voice back.
Yeah.
So, ah,
What's the? I went to acting class in college for one semester, and there was like voice warm ups, and I can't remember
oh,
what
I
they
don't
are
know.
now. That was 25 years ago.
I don't know. I've never taken a voice acting or singing class
Yeah, it was like
before.
theater,
Self-taught, baby.
theater or something.
Theater. Yeah.
Anyways, hey,
Were you a thespian?
no, definitely not.
Nice.
Hey, in case you didn't know, this is the Hobbytown Hobbyplex official podcast, the Hobbyplex Show podcast. And if you look up here at our little, what are this called up here? What are these called?
I don't know.
Header?
I can't.
Is it a header?
Oh,
Banner.
I
Banner.
can't see.
Sorry.
I can't see the banner.
Oh, you can't?
Nope.
Well, we have added ProTech RC as a sponsor of the show.
Thanks, ProTech.
Yep, thanks, ProTech. And even though that Will and I really actually don't get any money from it, it is part of the deal to basically be our track sponsor for the entire year of 2025. So ProTech RC is sponsoring the Summer Series, the Techno Series, and of course the ProTech Spring Off-Road Championships at the Hobbyplex, which the registration is for right now on RC signup. So if you haven't done that yet, get that done. It's always the end of April, unless the end of April is Easter, which it's not supposed to be until like 2030 something. So,
And if Kendall, if you're listening, holla at your boy. You know, like
right?
I.
Yeah.
I'll take
So
whatever I can
along
get.
with along with banners and stuff like that at the track, and then obviously mentions when we do our social media and all that good stuff, and then of course the ProTech banner will be on the like the Summer Series flyer when it comes out. We got door prizes for both the Summer Series and Techno Series.
That'd be nice.
And that's kind of what this is about. So we're not like making big bucks or anything like that, but I did offer to include them as our sponsor. So there you go.
Yeah, making the small bucks.
Yeah, making the small bucks. Speaking of which, Patreon's getting kind of low. We're down to like, well, we still have 13 Patreon members, but I think the payments on them are a little on the low side. So it is very important. It actually is important. We need to make at least $100 a month in order to help pay for this show. So
Got to break even. Really.
yeah, that's exactly it. So if you haven't done so yet, get on our Patreon. Find Hobbyplex Show on Patreon. What are you laughing about? It's not that funny.
Because you're like Patreon members, you know, hey, you're not giving us enough money.
Money. No, I appreciate our longtime Patreon members. There's actually quite a few of them, and it's
If
been
you guys want to give us some money, we'd take it.
yeah, it's been very helpful. In fact, Gretchen and I just did our taxes today, and I gotta pay taxes on that Patreon money.
Oh,
It's not much, but it's there.
really?
Yeah, it's a 1099 because it's over a certain amount of money. It's like I think it's $600. If the threshold is if you're under $600, you don't get a 1099, but if you're over $600, you get a 1099.
But how would you have to pay or make a payment on that? Because if we're breaking even on the podcast, you know, like you think
Yeah,
that
well,
would you wouldn't have to
I suppose
pay in.
I suppose I should be writing off all that sort of stuff, but
Yeah.
I don't know if you've noticed or not, but I'm not too bright at certain things like that. And
I'm terrible with money.
my
Like,
wife is kind of like the CEO of the family, and she's actually quite angry with me today.
what'd you do this time?
We just did our taxes. She's mad at me
Oh.
because I have all these little side hustles. I have all these little side hustles, and they all get 1099, and you gotta add that to your income. And I've got an LLC, so most of it gets put into that. I don't know. It's
Yeah.
just
You gotta keep them separated.
you gotta keep them separated. Exactly. So, I actually on purpose didn't buy anything this year with any of the talking fish stuff because there's a thing with, I think it's the IRS thing where if you don't turn a profit within a certain period of time, you get changed from a business to a hobby, and then that you can't actually use that LLC for write-offs and stuff or something like that. So I wanted to make sure that I actually made money. I officially made money.
From a business to.
You do? No, it's true. It's a. I think that's a real thing.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure it is kind of a thing, but the thing, it's just, I don't know. I just was surprised. Like, how much do you think they spend trying to track down like $50 or whatever? They probably pay a guy like $700 to track down that $50.
Yeah, I don't want to find out. That's the thing. So I'm always kind of leery about taxes and write-offs and all that crap.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I just think it's kind of silly.
Yeah. Tell me about it.
Whatever happened to the American dream?
Yeah, where you can just buy and sell things, not have to worry about declaring any of it. I don't think it's actually been that way.
Yeah.
Well, probably, 1913? Isn't that when was it the
Income tax?
Yeah, what amendment is that?
It would have been to that was to help pay for World War
One. Yeah.
Yeah. It was supposed to be a temporary tax.
Yeah.
Which there's no such thing as those in this country.
Such thing. Anyways, we're off on a weird tangent to start this show, are we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Taxes
and RC car racing. Usually you just use the tax refund if you get one to pay for some RC car stuff. That's what I think.
Yeah. I always thought it'd be really funny, like if we had the podcast like open up like a late night talk show. It was like, or like Saturday Night Live. Like somebody just shredding on the saxophone. It's like it's just like us over and over again with Alex Sturgeon and Will Brinton and Alex Sturgeon and like over and over again. I don't know.
I'd do it. That'd be funny.
That should be our opening for the show.
We need to get somebody to come out and do that so we can tack it on.
Like you standing up in the store, like screaming at a customer, and then it's like you realize you're on camera and you turn, you're like,
oh, dude, there was a guy yesterday that brought in a battery, a 4-cell battery, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm afraid to keep this at my house, so I'm bringing it to you guys."
Oh, it makes sense.
I was like, "Oh, great. So we'll burn the Plex down with your battery that you're afraid of."
Mm-hmm.
Kind of triggered me, so I actually went in the back and like stayed back there for like 20 minutes because I was like, mad, kind of like.
That is that. See, like there used to be. I remember the Lincoln store had some battery disposal box that was supposed to be like a thing to recycle them, but they're supposed to be like completely dead batteries going in there, and I think people just like threw them in there.
That's dude. So, did you ever remember seeing the dead LiPo box at the Plex?
Yeah,
dude, that thing freaked me out. I was like, why are all these LiPo batteries just sitting there? We've got a whole stack of LiPo batteries in another spot now too, and I just want to get rid of them.
Yeah,
I've been
in a gear diff, would you use 2 gears or 4 gears?
What'd you say?
In a gear diff, would you use 2 gears or 4 gears?
High grip or low grip?
Yeah, slick tire, high grip.
2 gear.
So that's supposed to make a car pivot more, right?
Yeah, like free it up.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I've just run 2 gears for so long. I've never built I haven't built a gear diff with 4 gears since the B6.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
Yeah, my
sorry,
my carpet car. My carpet car
Start
had.
talking about RC cars. Or
Yeah, no,
nothing.
it's great. My carpet car had 2 gears with 100K in it
Hmm.
on the inside of it. Might
2 gears with 100K.
Yeah.
Huh.
Because at Island, it basically, if you didn't do that, you'd get smoked coming out of corners.
Get smoked.
Yep.
I don't even know. I got 30K there. I'll try that at some point.
Yeah.
I won't be able to race this weekend.
Oh.
So, got a damn hell ass wedding to go to.
A wedding, huh?
Yep.
Whose wedding?
So one of Aaron's friends.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to get out of it.
Oh.
Hopefully she's listening.
There's 11 people watching right now, so the odds of her being one of them might be kind of slim.
Yeah.
That'd be like if my wife was watching this show right now, which is next to impossible.
Yeah.
She's kind of mad at me. I don't know today. It's weird.
She's mad at you.
It's my day off, and I wanted to like sleep and see if I can get over this freaking whatever I have, this cold or flu or whatever it is, and not do anything today. And I really haven't done anything today. Actually, this driving here was the most I've ever done today. But but we wanted to get our taxes done, and I'm like, oh God, okay. So we started doing our taxes. Not the funnest thing in the whole wide world.
Yeah.
Lots happened since we've been on. This is our February show, so we got to get kind of caught up a little bit. And
you're caught up.
I've been I wanted to talk to you because you made the A at Chili Bowl. And we weren't on. Did we talk about that?
I thought we did.
Really?
But maybe we didn't.
I thought you'd been sick the whole time.
I thought we got one in where my voice is pretty gravelly.
Really?
No, we didn't. I was on Joe Zaire's podcast.
Yeah, I know you were on Joe's, but I don't think we ever got to
my voice actually got worse after that.
Hold on. There's this fancy device where you can actually go back and look and see when we were on last.
Mm-hmm.
And it was when was this? See if it'll get it without any sound.
Mm-hmm.
It was January 6th. Yeah, we didn't talk about your Chili Bowl yet.
Okay.
So I want you to talk about Chili Bowl because I was like a proud uncle. I was super stoked. I was stuck here, and I was watching Live RC, and I was watching you win heats, and I was like, oh, man, it's coming. He's going to have this thing down. And then that last one you got screwed in. And I was like, damn it. And then you raced your way into the A main anyways and even then there was some crazy oval stupidity is what I would call it. As somebody who's watching from afar, I was like, this is why I don't race oval.
Yeah.
But anyways, because I went to a big race INS, but I want to talk about Chili Bowl first. I want you to get caught up with everything, as we're both like RC heroes right now. Like you're my RC hero.
Oh yeah, you're mine as well. Also
making the aim at Chili Bowl in the hardest class. In the hardest class, by the way.
Yeah, it was tough. That was one of the hardest races I think I've done. Everybody's really fast, and you just have to have like a lot of luck.
How many outlaw sprint cars were there though? Like there was a lot.
It was like I thought it was like 120.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. So
yeah,
that's crazy to me. That
somewhere north of 100. So no more than 100. No less or no more than 120. No less than 100.
Yeah,
so, something like that. So I guess to put it into perspective, you only race once a day, and you get about 2 or 3 practice runs.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's all I ran. So to start with, on the way down there, before I ever got there, I had been sick since November. Like just sick.
Same here. I've been sick since I can give you the exact day that I got sick. I was out on the boat with Ryan. We were fishing one last time before it got super cold. And
Yeah.
at like 5 o'clock, after being out all morning, I'm just like, dude, you got to get me in the shower. I feel awful. And then I feel like I've been sick ever since. Freaking sucks.
Yeah. So I was sick since November. It was after Thanksgiving. I remember we were going around to places for Thanksgiving that weekend,
Mm-hmm.
and that's when I started like just feeling terrible. And I got better, but I still just had this lingering cough, and I was just like, ever since I was a kid, I'd get sick, and then I'd have a cough until spring. It felt like, just
Yeah.
always had a cough. And
Hold up.
then
Before
I
you,
got
hold on. 99.
99.
99
Okay,
outlaw sprint cars, according
okay,
to Live RC. That's crazy.
yeah, that's a big class.
Yeah.
Um, so I was sick, um, and so we were going down there. I felt better. I just had a cough, and
Mm-hmm.
so I just kept coughing and coughing and coughing. And then on when we got there, like we started unloading, I went with Kyle Gannon and Andy LaChance. We all rode down there together, and we got there. We started unloading, and I just started like sweating like profusely. I was like, "Ooh, this can't be good."
Yeah.
And so I got like cough drops and some Dayquil and some NyQuil and all the quills. And then I uh, just was like taking that at night. And I was coughing so hard um, that I thought I just pulled a muscle. But when I was a kid, I broke my ribs on my right side.
Mm.
And I re-cracked one. Uh, So from coughing so hard, like, so then like every time I'd cough, it felt like I was just getting like punched in the ribs. So like it just exaggerated everything. So I was taking like ibuprofen and Dayquil at the track. I think I had like a half a bottle every day
Yeah.
that we were there, and I'd just be sitting in the pit, staring at my car, and just sweating. Like, I just running off of me. Like, I had a brand new hat, I ruined that hat, I set sweat through it. I mean, like, I could have taken my t-shirt off and, like, wrung it out. Like, I mean, that's how much I was sweating. I remember, like, it was towards the end of the week, Rod walked behind me. He, like, patted me on the back. He's like, "Ooh, you still got a fever, don't you?" I'm like, "I don't know. I haven't taken my temperature." Like,
Yeah.
so, um, so, um, had something while I was down there, and I lost my voice like on Wednesday or Thursday. And so really, alls I alls I did was just work maintenance my car and just like sit in my pit and like worked on tires. Like I didn't really get up and get around and talk to anybody really.
Yeah.
I mean, afterwards I had some beers at David Fast and I started feeling better, like not great, you know.
Yeah.
Uh, But there was one night where, like, I was really bad and I just took, like, a whole mouthful of NyQuil. I just quit measuring it at one point, and, like, I shut my eyes and it looked like a Tool album cover or
Yeah.
something. I was, like,
That's how it
hallucinating
gets
on
when I get my
cough
migraines,
syrup,
dude. Like
and I was
Sunday
like,
night I had a
"Oh,
migraine.
no." I was like, "Oh, no, I'm gonna die on cough syrup." So on the Tuss, the Robitussin. So so, um, I, so I got, like, as much practice as I really felt like I needed. Cause like, having to stand in that line for, like, I don't it went quick. It was probably
Yeah.
like an hour. It felt like an hour, stand in line and everything, so I only did that, like, minimal amount of times, and, I just worked on tires, and so you only race your car, like, once a day,
Mm-hmm.
and once practice day is kinda over,
Yeah.
that's, like, all
That's
the
it.
practice you're getting.
Yep.
So, you kinda have to come out swinging. You gotta be good at reading the track, and lap times don't really matter. So, like, the track, because I seated 17th, um, the fastest, top 10 seeds came out of the last like 2 heats.
Sure. Yeah.
So like as the track like grooves up, like it doesn't just go like this, like a couple of tenths. It goes like
Yeah.
3/10 or something. So I seeded 17th, and I was the second run of sprint car in that group of heats. So I felt pretty good about that.
Mm-hmm.
Like I didn't have the like on paper, my car didn't look the fastest, but I knew my car was actually really good because of where I ran in the round.
Right.
And I was like, okay, I got a nice piece. Like I got a good car. So um I ran my first heat. I don't remember where I started. I think I started in the back. No. I seated 17th. So I started second.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think I started second, if not pole, but for sure second. And I won the first
I was
heat.
gonna say, I think I remember you starting second actually in
Okay.
that first one.
Yeah. So I started second and won my first heat. I was leading my second heat in on the last corner of the last lap, and I started last because they invert
Mm-hmm.
the field.
Yep.
So I was led more than like a lot of the race.
Yeah.
And the last corner of the last lap, one of the somebody squidded out, and like I ran into a marshal's foot or something. It
Yeah.
all happened so fast. I ended up with another second.
Yeah.
I needed at least 2 wins to go straight in.
Yeah.
And the third heat, I was leading the heat, and I got bumped, and ended up getting second again, and I needed that to go straight in.
Yep.
So I was in the B main.
Yeah, you would have been like,
And,
I think I added it up. You would have been fifth
yeah,
in the A
so I'm
if
in the
you would
B
have
main.
been able to win that one.
Yeah,
The
ended
B
up in the
main, the
B.
B main was an adventure though.
No, it was stacked. Rod comes over, and he's like, "That B main you're in is stacked. If you win that one, you've earned it." I'm like,
Yeah.
all right. So I ended up getting second in the B main, and I can't remember who it was. He's a really nice guy, and he bumped me coming out of turn.
Turn two. But
Yeah,
before
turn
that
two.
though, before that you were way far ahead of everybody in second, and you almost got ruined again by
Yeah,
a ton of cars that crashed coming out of four, and the marshal was standing literally in the middle of the track getting everybody, and you ran right into
yeah,
his foot
yeah.
and
And I
slowed all that momentum down. You had like a half a lap lead on second place or on third place.
yeah, I was rolling really good, and it like takes a lap to get back up to speed. If that guy doesn't have to stop, I mean, just like having to slow down, like you lose
Yeah.
half a second. It seems like so. But so I got bumped by this other guy, and he actually like stopped and waited, and I ended up getting second because of that, going to the main.
Yeah.
And I told him thank you for waiting, and he was like, I wanted to be in the show, but I didn't want to do it like that. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, I
Yeah. That's
appreciate that.
I saw that and I was like, no way. Integrity
Hmm.
at an oval race?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Hmm.
That's
Yeah.
great.
There's a lot of integrity.
Integrity.
Yeah. So that went well. And I ended up starting 10th, and I was up to 6th,
Mm-hmm.
and I ended up getting 7th.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. That's okay though. You made the A main. It's kind of like,
Yeah.
I'm going to talk about our INS race, and I told Emerson, I'm like, dude, you made the main in 4-wheel. That's pretty impressive. No matter what happens,
Hmm.
from that point
Yeah.
on, you're in the A main for, legit
Hmm.
without doing any extra work. So.
Yeah.
So, from the take that I got from it was your first year at Chile, you sort of learned about the tires and the prep that needed to really make stuff work,
Hmm.
and that helped you get into this. The second go around, it made it a lot easier for you to be able to go fast.
Yeah. It so going last year, I kind of looked at that as like reconnaissance for this year,
Sure. Yeah.
and and that's kind of the way you have to look at that stuff. It would have been great if I made the main the first time I went there, but I kind of went there by myself, and it's kind of pitting with some of a few guys from around here. But I kind of needed to figure out tires for
Yeah.
everybody. So once I'd got tires figured out and what to do with them, I kind of knew that's really most of the game down there is just tires. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, having a nice car and everything makes a huge difference too. But especially if that one have tires that can come out swinging,
Yeah.
you know, and knowing what the track's going to be like. The track was the same from year to year.
Mm-hmm.
There was no difference. I mean, that track was so consistent.
And
I mean, there.
like Scotty said too, it's like the track was consistent, but also the track crew is getting like more efficient at making the track when they do that tear up every, what is it? What do they do that every couple hours? 4 hours?
Yeah, something like that. Or it's not hours, it's rounds.
Rounds.
But I
Okay.
think it does kind of it's so ever so many races. It's like once it starts grooving up too much, then they till it.
Yeah.
But it it and that's really consistent too. It's not like they just let it groove,
Yeah.
you know. But and there's some people that complain that they run pin tires at that race. And it's like, well, depending when you're running the round, you kind of need them.
Right.
Like it makes a difference.
Yeah.
But like the last year when I went, I I actually saved all of my tires, like from run to run, and marked them all,
Yeah.
and like when I ran in the round and all that kind of stuff. And so like this year, I pulled all that stuff back out. I was like, oh yeah, here's our data.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't have to mount. I think I had to mount one set while I was down there. It was just because I screwed up the set
Yeah.
when I was breaking them in, but you foam bust them and you grind them and you sauce them and you burn them, and then uh, you end up running them one time.
Right.
Oh, I think I probably could have ran a few sets more than once, but
Yeah.
for the most part, yeah, I was one running them.
Yeah. So, is that you're pretty much an annual go getter then to the Chili Bowl? You're
I,
definitely gonna go to the next one.
I think so. I think I'm
Yeah.
gonna go to the next one.
And then, not to leave anybody out, but um, Kyle and Gooch both made the 40 plus main, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And
Kyle finished eighth in 40 plus, and I'm not sure where Gooch
that 40
finished.
plus main looked a little on the rough side too. And I felt bad for Gooch. They did a restart. He had a good start, and then they restarted it, and the restart sucked for him.
Yeah,
Like his car got like, it looked like it got outside the groove, and he had to let off a little bit, and like 4 cars blew by him, and then he got tangled up, and like the whole thing went to poop after
yeah.
that.
And Andy
Andy
made the
LaChance,
main,
yeah,
yeah, in short course B mod.
yep,
So or for like short course modified.
yeah,
So that was pretty cool. Uh, like I think he learned a lot too. He's
yeah,
already talking about going next year too.
right,
So I think all three of us are gonna
yep.
for sure go.
They got the bug.
Yeah, those SCV mods look kind of tough. Like he kind of had to shown up a couple of times to a few of those races to do well.
Yeah,
The thing with Andy goes to the biggest dirt oval race uh, of the year, and he didn't even drive that SCP mod before he went down there. He showed up and drive it, and he made the main. He like, I get it figured out.
I'll get it figured out.
Yeah,
I drove
but
I drove a Traxxas modified the other day
really,
on our track.
yeah, is that cool?
Yeah, it was all right.
Yeah, they look like they're kind of like a long slash.
Yeah,
You know, did you see the late models?
I did. It's pretty
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, it's neat. I think we back ordered the bodies already.
Oh, that'd be cool.
I
It
think
drops right onto the
right. Yeah, it clicks right on
mud
there.
mud modified, huh?
Yep. Yep.
That's cool.
So your next, other than local racing, then, because I know ours is this week, right?
Yeah, it is.
And
I don't think I'm gonna be able
or
to go
second
though.
to last one of that, and then the next one's the Field of Dreams. That's the next like big race for oval for you, or is it something in between
Yeah,
there?
Nope, Field Dreams. I'll probably run, since I'm not gonna race, I probably won't be able to make the Plex. Strong chance I won't be able to make it. I don't know. We'll see.
Is who's going to that? Who's going to the Field of Dreams? Because we gotta figure out if
Oh,
we're going down there again together or not.
yeah, I figured we would.
Okay.
Kyle, Brian, you and I.
Okay.
So Kyle's going. What was I gonna say? Oh, I was probably gonna do that. What is it? That battle in the barn at Jensen RC.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's a week before we go.
Yeah.
So that'll be cool. I would really want to run this car on high bike because I got a high bike car here, and this thing, she's gonna turn.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's gonna turn a lot, probably.
Nice. Cool. Well, I've got a little bit of news going around. So first thing I put in for the Roar e-buggy Nats for 2026.
E-buggy.
Because they were calling for them because they're going to have I guess they want to have the next nationals announced at the current nationals.
Yeah.
So they were calling, and I was going to put in for it for this year for 2025, and I kind of backed out of it. I was like, maybe
for
not.
e-buggy?
For e-buggy. Because
Yeah.
I want to have it, I would like to have it at the end of March because that fits so well into our cycle of track.
Mm-hmm.
We can still have an 8-scale track then. Obviously, we'll build, somewhat of a new layout for that. But it won't be like it was last time. It was right in the middle of our summer series, and I had to build an 8-scale track.
Yeah.
When we're 10-scale racing in the summertime. So I wasn't sure if that was going to be something that they would go for. And then it turns out that the nationals this year are at the end of March at Maine.
Oh, wow.
And I've looked at the sign up for that, and I haven't seen a whole lot of signups for it yet. But yeah, so we'll see. We'll see if I get that. If I don't, it's not a huge deal. But if I do, I've got something planned to try to entice people to sign up for it because it is expensive. Roar's increased their entry fees to $120.
Ooh.
And
what were they before?
100.
Oh.
Because they're trying to get more to the tracks. Because they hadn't adjusted that entry fee for a really long time, and the tracks already kind of felt like they weren't getting enough from holding the race.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. Like all the tracks say is like, why would we have a Roar Nats when we just break even on it?
Yeah, well, yeah, it depends on which one, and depends on what you spend your money on, I guess.
No, I get it. I mean, there's a difference between the tracks charging for pits and charging you to bring your own food in and stuff, or the ones that are doing it right.
Yeah.
Oddly enough, that track that I'm talking about does not exist anymore.
You're so devious. You're gonna get me a phone call or a text message.
From who?
I don't know. Out of the blue. It'll be out of the blue. Like,
I don't think the 11 people listening care.
Well, now there's 23 people, so we doubled it.
Oh, shoot. Oh, dang.
Yeah, dang it. So anyways,
right, sorry I got you in trouble.
No, you're not getting me in trouble. That's kind of news. I'm if we do get it, I think it'll be cool. And then, like I said, think about it. So the last time we held it in 2018, I was kind of excited because I think that was the first year we did at the Techno Series where electric e-buggies outpaced nitro cars.
Yeah.
So I thought we'd have sort of that same momentum, but it was in the summertime, and again, you got $100 entry fee back then. So a lot of I can see why a lot of sportsman drivers, would be like, why would I go to nationals?
They're like, that's a set of tires, sir.
Yeah, or
I mean, I'm serious.
Yeah, there were 2 sets for 8-scale. It's 2 sets of tires.
$100.
Yeah. So.
How much are 8-scale tires?
Actually, no, you're about right. It's about $40 a pair.
Tires,
yeah, it's about $40 a pair. So you're right. Okay. So anyways, so I've got an idea, and it's basically it's actually just centered on our Techno Series racer. So if we get this race, look for something cool maybe to happen with that I can try to entice people to sign up for the nationals. Basically.
What is it?
Well, I don't really want to say right now.
Oh, I know.
I don't want it to be a surprise. Just know that I'm thinking of you guys as always, the racers that come to the Plex. I'm thinking about you.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, the round five sold out again, and I haven't even looked at RC sign up in a few days because I've been freaking sick, and it's like been like one of the last things I've thought about. So I'll make a post probably tomorrow saying, hey, I'm taking heat filler spots just like I have been all winter long. And that's actually worked out really well for us.
I'm going to start signing up for races and not going to them.
There's only been a handful. I will say there's only been a handful of people that have done it consistently. And it's like I can put them on my
annoying.
I can put them on my hand. There's only been like 4 or 5 people, and I see them signed up, and I'm like, they're probably not coming. So then when it comes to people asking if they can get in, I kind of look at that and go, yeah, you'll probably be just fine because I don't think this person's actually going to come.
Yeah, like I was going to drop the name, but I'm not one of them that I can think of.
That guy was at Trackside.
Who? Daniel Hooten? Daniel Hooten?
No, Daniel. I don't know if Daniel's into RC at all anymore.
I don't think he is anymore. It's probably safe. But yeah, I don't even think he was racing when he was signing up for all those races. He just signed up for every race.
We're sorry, Daniel. We're just picking on you. That's all.
It was funny.
Yeah, it is funny.
So I haven't seen him since 2012, probably.
I think he moved. He moved to like Maine or something like that.
Yeah, he had like some big boat doing boat stuff or something. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, he was like signing up for all these races. I'm like, oh man, I get to see Daniel again. Cool. He just never show up. Yeah, but yeah, the other guy, I'm sure he was at Trackside. Oh, you know who you are. If you're listening.
Yeah.
you know who we're talking about.
Anyways, so I've covered the Nats. I did put in for the Nats. If we get them, great. If we didn't, that's fine too. It's not a huge deal. Would be nice to have him again though. That was a cool race, and I think Chili Duncan's got like 3.2 million views or something like that on the E-Truggy A2
Iowa tracks.
Yeah, Iowa RC tracks.
Yeah,
I looked it up again just recently because I was showing people our track, and it was like 3-point-something million views. Like, I would give my left nut to have one video with 3.2 million views.
Man, he's got to be rolling in the theoretical dollars.
Like monetized 3.2 million views. That's crazy. Yeah. That's awesome.
I gotta move this car over here, but I can't pick it up above the camera.
Nice. So Emerson and I went to INS at Trackside, and we had a pretty good time. So the International Series in the past had typically been just a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday type race. And back when we first started doing it, like when we held the finals in 13, 14, and 15, and practice on Thursdays didn't start till 4 p.m. Like the Pro Tech race. Yeah. Practice, I think practice starts at 4.
When we first started going to the INS races, like in 2012, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
No, like when you and I would go to like Texas or something, we could use the first day of practice as a travel day.
Yeah, exactly. And then it was nice. It was nice because you didn't have to hustle, and they were getting good turnouts, but they were, I don't know. It didn't seem like it didn't feel like you had to be there on Wednesday, like Aurora National, you need to be there on Tuesday really to set up your pit.
Oh yeah.
And then as it progressed and it got more popular, I think it was kind of being able to practice on Thursday is kind of a big deal because you don't really get that much practice time Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah.
If it, maybe just morning to run the track in.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then the last like last year, a couple races had Wednesday practice all day, and I remember last year, thinking to myself, well, I can't take Wednesday off of work, and when Emerson and I went to Island, we felt behind the whole weekend. We both kind of just felt like we were behind because all those top guys had a full extra day of practice,
Yeah.
So they made it now so there is no Wednesday practice. There's just Thursday practice, and then Friday morning, and then Friday seating, and then Friday qualifying. So it's a bam bam sort of thing. You go right into it on Friday, and we left here during that ice storm, and took forever. I was planning on getting to Cedar Rapids to spend the night at my brother-in-law's house by like midnight. We got there at 2:30, and then we wanted to be in Milwaukee by 9:00, and we didn't really get there until about 11.
Wow.
So, but we didn't feel behind at this one though. We still got plenty of practice in, and it was nice because we were done. I don't think Emerson and I both stayed up late and at any one of the nights. We got to our hotel, we got checked in, and we were probably asleep by like 10:30, 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
I think Friday
That's
was the latest night because they packed so much into Friday.
Yeah. Obviously, at the Chili Bowl, I was not going out and
No.
staying up late.
Yeah. So, the Trackside's such a nice place. Like if I lived there, dude, it'd be so nice to not have to do what I do and have a place like that,
Could you imagine like how fast we could get if we had a track like that? Like I didn't have to drive an hour to it,
Maybe.
Like
I don't know.
you just get off work, go to the track.
I've been having an existential crisis about this sort of thing. Do you want to hear it?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think I've ever been as fast as I think I've been.
Oh, really?
I've actually been coming to that realization. Like at the INS race this last weekend, I was non-existent. Hold on, put your headphones back in because
I'm trying.
Sorry.
My one died.
Oh, it died? Oh, okay. Well, I can hear it. It was like reverberating or something. Now it's better.
Okay.
But okay, you know what I'm saying though? Like I don't think I was ever as fast as I was.
Yeah.
Like I've won a lot of races, but they've all been like regional races, and I've never really done anything that great on the bigger scale. Like I got second at Stock Nats in 2004, but I still got second. I didn't win.
Right.
And that was 2004. That was 20 years ago.
I'm like, hey, that was only 10 years ago.
But like this weekend, I was a non-playable character this weekend. I just sort of drove around in 40 plus and fourth and third place the whole time. And in truck, I qualified sixth in truck. My truck was awful until I texted you and started talking to you about my setup.
Yeah, did all those things help?
Oh yeah, my truck was way better. I got up to third place in the main within 4 laps, and then broke out.
Really?
Yeah, and then I broke out.
Oh, what'd you break?
A dog bone popped out when I cased the triple. Yeah, that's what I said. Because I had this vision of Emerson and me being first and second on the podium. And when I was in third, I was like, all right, here we go. Like I've got a good truck now, and my truck's really fast because Emerson did my motor, and I'm like, this is gonna be awesome. Emerson and I are gonna be on the podium together. And then I've been hitting that triple all week with my truck when it lined up right, and I just shorted it, and my truck just came to a stop, and that was that.
Dang.
So I was pretty butthurt. Yeah.
That sucks. I didn't know you broke out.
Yeah, I broke out. I finished 10th. So, but Emerson did awesome. Like that was really the first time he's ever driven a B7. So he's newly sponsored by Team Associated this year, and that was really the first time with that car. We got pitted with the Vanderbeeks, so I was going to Mac constantly going, hey, what can we do to make this better? What can we do to make this better? I was making small changes to his car for him. He would be like, okay, I'll go try it. And, he got where he was pretty comfortable with it, and he just missed the main.
Oh, in 17.5?
Yeah.
Nice.
He was 7th going into final round.
Yeah.
And then he blew out his third round of qualifying, and Noah Ward was in the B main, and he laid down a heater in the last qualifier, and he's one of the ones that got in the main and bumped Emerson out.
Really?
Yeah, so Emerson qualified 9th. He started first. He had Aaron Mitchell and Talon Henley behind him, and Talon's car got really good on main day, and Talon had a horrible day of qualifying, and he worked his way through the field and then caught Mitchell and Emerson, and they went back and forth a few times because everybody's crashing over the triple. Emerson crashed one time on the triple, and that was the difference really to having a little bit of a lead on those two and then getting wrapped up with those two and battling all the way to the end. So it was a clean race in the B main. I told Emerson, like, there's nothing to be disappointed with that because the B main was pretty stacked field too, but also like it was a clean race. It wasn't like that one year where he just crashed everywhere and didn't get in. He actually had a good race. So that was good to see, and I was happy to see him get comfortable with the new car for him. You know, the B7's a year old, but for him, it was brand spanking new. We tried to practice the Duplex, and right now it's just our track is an 8-scale track. It's not even close.
Yeah.
So it's really hard to practice for somewhere that's more of a smooth 10-scale type track. And then in four-wheel drive is the opposite. So in four-wheel drive, he got a 9th and a 10th for round 1 and 2. But his four-wheel drive was really fast, and it was really good. And, dude, I put that car on a diet. So that was my mod car, my B74 Championship Edition.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we got him carbon everything. I put titanium screws in that car where you would want titanium screws, and where you wouldn't want them, I left them steel.
Yeah.
And then we got the lightweight drivetrain for it. And then Emerson, of course, he's got his tunalizer, so he's made some pretty fast motors, and his four-wheel drive is a rocket ship.
The tunalizer.
Yeah, Emerson's.
Who sells that?
Hobby Wing.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Would something like that set you back?
If you had to buy one,
yeah,
$300-something.
Really?
Yeah.
So what do you do to get one of them bad boys tuned up?
So Emerson's had like 4 different motors,
mm-hmm.
and he swapped stators and sensor boards and stuff, and messed with the shimming
mm-hmm.
a whole bunch until he got the numbers that I guess they're supposed to be at just right.
Really?
Yeah.
Super tuna.
So
I wanted to do that with like some motors at one time.
Yeah. So he made me a 13.5, but of course he kept the best 13.5 for himself.
Yeah, why wouldn't he?
Yeah, why wouldn't he? So anyways, so Emerson final round of qualifying, and this is the one I put in the video. He was in the B heat with Sammy Moran, and both of them they qualified 2nd and 3rd for round 3. Okay. So Emerson got in on points and qualified 6th overall.
Wow.
That was badass, dude. I was like, heck yes. Like that's awesome because I don't think he's ever actually qualified in 13.5. He hasn't qualified for an A main at an INS race straight up yet. He won, I know he won a lower main at one time at our race, maybe 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And then he kept getting him and Andrew kept qualifying like right next to each other, and Andrew kept getting the better of him the last couple of years in the B main.
Really?
Yeah. So he ended up finishing 10th, but the mains were like I told him, you made the A, so don't freak out too much about where you finish, but he had his shots. He's got a couple really good starts, and then just that triple. He just got messed up on the triple just like everybody else did. And then in truck was an adventure, dude. So like Emerson's truck, you've seen Emerson's truck.
Oh yeah.
Remember Emerson's truck when we went to when you were running truck going for the title, and you looked at Emerson's truck and you were like, how in the hell can this truck work so good?
Yeah. And I was like, whatever it is, I'm gonna copy it.
Yeah.
I just copied it when we were at Adrenaline. And my truck was better. It still didn't have everything that one had.
Yeah, it's bizarre.
You know? Yeah, that thing was just magic.
So I never got to see his truck because I was in his heat, you know? So I just knew my truck was terrible. Like it was awful. And finally, after the second round of qualifying, I think it was the second round, I started texting you going, dude, what am I doing wrong? And like I had the hubs in the wrong place, and you told me to move the hubs, and then I messed with my wheelbase a little bit, and that worked better. And I actually moved my shocks from the back to the front.
Yeah,
and now
I like that on your truck.
I guess so, but Emerson's running him in the back in his truck. I watched the video. When watching the video, editing the video for the 2 videos that I made for this race was the first time I actually got to see Emerson's truck, other than when I broke and was watching Emerson's truck.
Yeah.
But on video, I was like, oh my God, like Emerson's truck, like, is no wonder. Like his truck looks amazing compared to mine. So I was tempted to put him back to the back again, but I was like, no, my truck's good now. I don't want to mess with it. What if it doesn't work?
It's the way I drive. I like it more that way.
Yeah.
And it just squared up so much quicker.
Yeah.
Because I like kind of a point and shoot car. I don't like one that you got to really carry a lot of corner speed with or whatever. I just want it to get in and out.
Yeah.
Like,
it was a change I made that definitely felt like it made it better.
Yeah.
But then rewatching and seeing Emerson's truck, I might move him back to the back again.
And see if you have time to work on that.
Yeah.
You know, put him in the back, and then what else do you have to do to make that work for you?
Well, because like moving the hubs was a big deal. That was actually a pretty big difference for mine. But I had already moved my shocks to the front when I did that, so I'd like to try the shocks in the back with that change just to see.
Yeah. Oh man.
Anyways, Emerson smoked us, dude. Like he won all 3 rounds of qualifying, and then he won the main. And I'm up on the stand. I broke 5 laps in, and I'm just up there, and I'm like, well, great. But I was watching his race, and he just kept pulling away and pulling away and pulling away. And like 3 minutes left to go, he's still doing the triple.
Yeah.
And he's got a 14-second lead.
Yeah.
You know? And I'm like, dude, the only way you can lose this race at this point is if you break. And I'm like, so I'm up there, and I'm very quietly, I'm trying not to interrupt the other driver's attention or anything. I'm just like, take care of your truck. Dude, you got to take care of your truck. The only way you can lose this is if you break. And he just kept doing the triple and doing the triple. And so finally I was like, take care of your truck. Like loud like that.
Yeah.
And he goes, I am God. And then I felt bad because it was kind of loud, and I'm sure the other drivers up there didn't appreciate that. But
yeah, that's so funny in oval, or even like 8 scale, like oval. Like we all have spotters.
Yeah.
Like standing underneath us, like for the main and stuff.
Yeah.
And there's guys going, Will, quit it. Like, you know, we're like, do that, don't do that. All right, more of that. Do those.
I just was like, it's happened so many times to him, and especially in that class.
Mm-hmm.
Like the only way he could have lost that race is if he crashed and broke on the triple like I did.
Yeah.
So he did double single it like 3 times, and then he started doing it again. right at the end. So like the last minute, he's still doing the triple, and I'm just up there. I'm up there, nervous wreck, because I'm like, you got this in the bag, and the hardest part of the track, you're still doing it. But if you watch the video, like it looks breathless. It looks so easy for him, especially with that truck. So I don't know, whatever. It worked out.
That's so funny though. Like this typical Emerson fashion.
Yeah,
just going for it.
Just doing his own thing. Not even thinking about it, you know.
Yeah.
And then I got 3rd in 40 plus, but I feel really dirty about it. Like I didn't deserve it. I sucked all weekend. That triple and me just didn't work. Like where I was standing, the very far corner was a little hard to see, but it's where I felt the most comfortable, because if I stood anywhere near the middle over to the right, I couldn't do the triple. Like the angle that the triple was bothered my brain. Like I just couldn't do it. So I had to stand down here so I could see it straight on.
Is it that same one in the infield? Like you come around like if this is the back stretch, you might do something, and then you come like right over here on this side of the driver's stand, kind of like a short right-hander, and then you go straight over a triple and then land it into a tabletop around that pole. Is it trackside always has like an awkward angled triple for me too?
It was a left turn.
Okay.
And it was a diagonal triple.
Yeah, that's
So
what
I
I'm
mean, it was
saying. It's
hard.
always
Like it
yeah,
shouldn't be hard, but it was. And I mean, the thing about it is everybody's crashing there,
yeah.
even the pros. So
No, I'm not complaining or anything
yeah,
like that. I wasn't even there.
no,
I
I
just
know.
remember in the past that there's always a triple that
Yeah,
like
the
struggle with, and it always seemed to be in the same spot
the
every year, every
the
time we
triple
was.
that they had in November. So it would have been the team associated track layout.
Yeah,
Like that triple was hard. It was hard, but once you kind of got it figured out, it was actually like sort of easy, but also like really fun because you had to hit it in just the right spot for the next part of the track to be faster.
yeah,
And
it,
once I figured it out, that's when I started doing well on those club nights. I was like, okay, I got this now. But I could never do that this weekend. I was always timid and not hitting my throttle just right. That's why I crashed so much there. But I got to tell you, everybody else crashed there too. So I was in fourth for probably the middle of that race, that probably 3 minutes out of that 8-minute race.
yeah,
And I was up there just thinking, oh, I've crashed so much and I'm still in fourth. I'm like, I should be very thankful for that.
yeah.
And then the next thing you know, I'm in third. And I was like, oh, okay, I'll take this, But I did. It's not like I raced my way to third. It's more like I had it kind of handed to me in a way. So I'll take what I can get because Alan got second and he didn't get a TQ. So if I don't know if Chris is going to go to more of these races. The guy who TQ'd and won, but I mean, if you TQ and win a points race, that's a big deal. So if he does go to more, I mean, he's in the driver's seat for it too. But in the last couple of years, it's come down to me and Al, and Mac for that matter. Last year, it was Mac had an outside shot at it too. So
Yeah. Is Brent was there, right?
nope,
Oh, he wasn't?
he signed up and then wasn't there.
Yeah. See, we were going to that same race. Well, they used to have it in November, their big race, back when it was a Spectrum
The
race.
Spectrum race. Now it's a team associated race.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's when we started going there.
We went there. It was a long time ago, like 2012, right?
11.
Really?
We went 11 and 12, I thought. Because there was like 2 years that I went or 2 periods of time I went.
I think
2 or 3 years.
I think you went 1 year without me because I think
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I only went to that race once.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, and I went there twice.
That's when we were running blue compound.
Yeah.
Dirt webs that we ghosted and then used
No, we're running bro codes.
bro codes, right?
Blue compound.
Blue compound bro codes, and it was motor spray was the tire sauce.
Yeah.
Officially.
I broke out golds at that race. In I think the second year we went, or I went, and I still think I might have been one of the first ones to run golds at that race.
Yeah. It's a cool place. Like I said, I'm envious of people who get to go there every week and race.
Yeah.
Because it's a pretty dialed place. And I got to say, though, the atmosphere there compared to the last... I noticed this in November. The atmosphere there compared to when I was there in 2012 was completely different.
That's good.
Like everybody was super chill and happy and nice and even when I was up there winning that club race in November, like Gregory was right next to me. He was like, "Hell yeah, dude, that's awesome!" And I'm like, "That's great," because in 2012 I don't think it would have been that way.
It seems like the locals now, when you go there, it's like they want you to have a good experience. So it was like for me, like for Gregory to kind of like, hey, good job, or he's happy for you. He like wants you to come back.
Oh yeah.
That's cool.
I was telling Mac, I'm like, hey, next year you should go with me when they do that Toys for Tots doubleheader thing again. Cause like that's such a value as far as, I mean, if you think about it, for me, it's 7 hours to get there. You get to practice all day Friday. You get to race Friday. You get to practice all day Saturday. Well, not all day Saturday, but you get to go and practice in the morning on Saturday and then race all day Saturday. The entry fee is not outlandish in any sort of way. You get so much track time. You get so much good, fun RC car dirt racing in. Like it's totally worth it.
Yeah.
So I'm probably going to put that on my thing to go to every year is that Toys for Tots doubleheader thing that they do.
Yeah. I know this summer I want to go to Lighton for races, and then I want to run the point series at uh, what is it, Fast Lane.
Yeah.
I think that would be a good race.
I need to get Emerson's. Well, Emerson needs to get his 8 scale ordered so that we can get his nitro car going, so that he can have a fun summer if he wants to.
Yeah.
Because I would like to do the the Fast Lane outdoor 8 scale stuff.
Yeah.
I think that'd be a lot of fun.
Dude, I'm telling you, dude, you gotta race old. It's different now than it was.
Just let me borrow a car sometime. I'll put me in 360 or something. I don't care.
Okay.
Don't care.
All right.
Yeah. Then I'll think about it. I will say, okay, so so we're done with the trackside thing. I just want to thank on my side, okay, I want to thank Team Associated, obviously, for I know Emerson does too, but also J Concepts. Jason has created something in the Indoor National Series that I think in the past it's been sought after and talked about for so long, but it never actually came together, and this has turned into what I think people wanted as far as some sort of points thing.
Yeah.
Now, granted, for the last couple of years, all these races have been sort of in the Midwest, but still, you get the Cali guys, you get the Florida guys, you get guys, the top guys, to come to these things. So it is cool to see the pros do their thing, but it gives a chance for kids like Sammy Moran and Emerson and the Vanderbeeks, for instance. Alex made the A main in 2-wheel.
Yeah.
He made the bump. I mean, so and he has barely raced. I mean, it's amazing. These kids are doing so good, and it gives them a chance to shine. You know what I'm saying? So, so Jason's really created something there. I think the Elite RC Productions thing is really good. I talked to Lance, the race director, about our situation, and he's gonna have to, bring his stuff in every night, which is a little different than I think anywhere else that they go. But Matt did it. I mean, Matt was able to do it, so it should work out fine.
Yeah.
I finally got a chance to meet Keenan.
No, that's cool.
In person. I got that interview in my my part 2 of my video, and we chatted for a little bit. We need to get him on here.
Yeah.
Between us some point. We'll try to get that lined up. Because we don't do it every week now, it's sort of different, I think, for us.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that was pretty awesome, and he's gonna. I guess they're all gonna. I mean, they're hired to do all the INS races, so I'm pretty sure they're gonna be at ours. So that'll be really cool.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
We have a lot of cleaning to do. Once spring comes around, it's not just the track builds. We got to make sure that our place looks nice and is kind of cleaned up again. I kind of do that every spring, so that's gonna be really important to me. Kind of repaint stuff, and I'm thinking about taking down those boards in the corners that always look like they're getting moldy.
Yeah.
I hate that. So I want to get rid of those. I might try to put up some sheet metal or something.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Just to make it look nicer.
Yeah, I guess some like or that wavy stainless or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then also got to thank Hobbywing, of course, because Hobbywing also sponsors my son, and I get the hand-me-downs, so that's kind of nice.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, those are our main 3 racing sponsors, and of course, I run, pretty much ProTech servos, ProTech batteries, and all that too. So that's a big deal, and just having that support a little bit definitely helps Emerson and I out a ton. So it's a big deal for us and for that series. It's very important. That series is awesome. Even when you suck like I do this weekend, last weekend, whatever weekend we're on. Yeah. Okay. So then I wanted to say coming up in 2 weeks is our carpet off-road crash in. And I'm pretty sure it's been determined that that'll probably be our last carpet off-road race.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get new carpet. It's been a while. We've been hanging on to this carpet of ours for a while, and it's it's pretty beat up. It's gotten pretty torn up with the off-road stuff too. I mean, even this weekend there was a big gash put in the carpet from a rear shock tower, and I'm just like, So,
well, it had a good run, and we tried it, and
well, what I was going to say was, what's going to happen is there'll be more dirt oval races next year now.
Yeah.
And there'll be more on-road races now. So, it sucks in a way, but at the same time, like it does give the opportunity for everything else that we do to have some more time to race. Because like all oval guys haven't raced since November, and we didn't race at all in December, right? So it was almost like a month and a half.
There was one December round. Or no, it was not at all. Not at all in December.
Yeah, so it would have been like a month and a half.
Yeah, because it was like the week after the Chili Bowl.
Yeah.
We raced.
So my plan is to race Saturdays on the dirt through October more, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I've been thinking about trying to do something on a Sunday.
Yeah.
So like if the idea was that we wanted to race on Saturdays only, which I don't know, whatever. Here's the thing. I actually kind of like it because yesterday there was a ton of people on the track.
Mm-hmm.
Not racers, just guys that know that Sundays are open and they can come in and they can just have fun on the track.
Yeah.
And I've noticed now, I ran a search and we've sold 3 times more practice passes just in the month of January than ever.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of that is because we've had an available day on a weekend. Whereas in the past, we never have. We were always doing something every Friday, every Saturday, every Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
So I would like to maybe try to do something on a Sunday, maybe like a triple scoop or something like that.
Yeah.
You want to know what my idea is?
Yeah.
My idea is that we utilize the oval for 10 scale off-road more.
Wait, what?
So my idea is that I push the oval out another 4 or 5 feet.
Yeah.
And make it so that I can have 4 lanes in that space.
To make the oval bigger.
And then I can have a 10 scale off-road track in that space.
It's like manageable during the winter.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be like perfect. Because that was always my thing, is like we try to get ready for all these winter races for 10 scale, and we're running on an 8 scale track on Tuesdays, with just like you and me, and then we show up with these races with cars that have tons of grip dialed into them, and then it was like we're just stopped to lunch when we got there.
Yeah.
Like not even close.
Yeah. So it's something I've been thinking about ever since this came up in the discussion. And I know there's going to be a couple people, they've already expressed how upset they are, but that carpet's so expensive. And the carpet that we're racing on now is actually, the on-road guys actually pitched in to buy that.
Yeah.
So it kind of sucked how quickly it got torn up once we started using fuzz bites. And I've had people say, well, why don't you use slicks, or why don't we go to foam, and that sort of thing. But even if we did that, you would still have to deal with the damage done from the cars themselves.
Yeah.
And you can cover up the shock towers all you want. You can cover up, but you still have something on the off-road cars when they take a bad tumble and they land at a weird angle that'll put a gouge in the carpet.
Yeah.
So if we ever want to hold the roar nats again, If we ever want to hold the Tamiya finals again, it's the carpet has got to be good.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so there'll be other opportunities for us to race. I'm actually kind of looking forward to the new Associated on-road car.
Yeah,
that's going to come out.
I think on-road's going to have kind of a resurgence here.
It kind of feels that way.
I don't know if it's going to be like it was. I think that the cars from the manufacturers that have stayed in it are just so insane.
Yeah.
Like, and the cars are so fast that's why the Tamiya races kind of work around here, because we don't have any like on-road pros.
Right.
You know, and like it just kind of makes sense that those things work so well for us, for the casual racer. But and even back then, like when on-road was huge, when was it huge? When the TC3 was the car to have.
Yeah, for
you
sure.
know? And then after that, it's just like everybody kept dropping out.
Yeah.
So
I think we've been kind of doing it right at the Plex as far as trying to keep that TTO2 class going to get people into it. It's kind of like Plex, like Plex Spec. You get them into Plex Spec, and then they 10% of the Plex Speckers see us racing, and they want to do that. And I think on the on-road side, I think you get 10% of those TTO2 people that come in, drop $400 or so to race on-road, and then they see the 17.5 touring car, and they go, "Ooh, I want to do that." Or they see the GT12, little 12 scale. So
I always wanted to race mod touring car.
Ugh.
And like I remember somebody told me like, "Oh, you couldn't drive it." I'm like, "Well, I had whatever carbon fiber touring car I had. I threw like a 6.5 in it and made laps with it and didn't crash it and break it.
Dude,
it was going fast."
So first off, Tiny Tuesdays will still go on because the little tiny cars, they don't damage the carpet at all.
Right.
Like they're light enough, and you just don't see the carnage from Tiny Tuesday that you do. So we'll still have some jumps, the smaller jumps, and we'll still do Tiny Tuesday, because the reality is that those cars just don't hammer the carpet the way that the bigger cars do. I gotta tell a story though. This is really funny.
Wait! Before you do it,
yeah.
Do you remember that time on the gray carpet? I think it was when we still had gray carpet. There was that guy that he had a T-Max down there, and he started it on the carpet track and was driving it around the carpet track.
Yes, I do remember that. It echoed inside of there. It was crazy.
Yeah, it was like, sir, sir,
what you doing?
Yeah.
There was another guy. Remember one of the INS races we had? I think it might have been like the INS 14 or something like that. And there was like 3 guys, and they came in on a Friday, and they were was it Friday or it was a practice day? Anyways, I'm in line, and I'm looking over, and I see these guys, and they got their T-Maxes, and I'm like, they're not going to try to start their trucks, are they? And then the guy puts his thing on the ground, puts his
easy start
in there, and he starts pulling it. He's like, "I'm gonna get this sucker started. Get out there. I'm gonna get out there with the guys. Go. And I ran over, and I'm like, "Hey man, what are you doing?" He's like, "I'm gonna get my car, and I'm gonna practice." And I'm like, "No, you're not, dude. This isn't for that today. Wrong day. You can't have that." And he's like, "Well, what are these people doing?" And I'm like, they paid $50 to race, and they're racing 10 scale, not what you have, sir."
Yeah.
You're like, "Oh God, baby, I'm never coming back here again." I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. Like a little bit of common sense goes along.
Well, I mean, it's probably really obvious to us, but maybe to him, it's just.
I know it's
toy car.
It's crazy things that I think should be obvious to us.
Yeah.
That aren't obvious to other people.
Yeah.
Anyways, where was I going? Oh, the first time I ever raced mod touring car,
yeah,
I squealed like a little girl. It was the funnest thing I've ever done in my life. I had my triple XS, and I put like a 10-turn brushed motor in it, because that's what we had. It was that long ago, and it was in Chile, on their carpet track, and oh my God, that was so much fun because it was so. I don't think I've ever driven anything that fast before. Like I was laughing the whole time I was on the driver's stand. People were like looking at me like, "Why is he laughing so much?" And I'm just giggling the whole time because it was so fast. Little did I know that when you put that fast of a motor in a touring car, like that motor's gone.
Yeah.
In like 10 minutes, the motor's toast. You're never using that motor ever again.
Yeah. That was brushed.
Thank God for brushless motors.
That was probably equivalent of running like 10.5 now, or not even, probably like 17.5 or 13.5.
You think so?
Yeah,
it was fast, dude. I remember how fast it was. I remember thinking how fast it was. Again, this goes back to my existential crisis that I was never actually as fast as I think I was. Like maybe that wasn't as fast as I thought it was. I just remember it being very fast.
Yeah, I remember. What was it? 19 turn touring car. That was a riot.
Yeah, it was.
That was a good time.
19 turn.
I liked 19 turn anything.
Yeah, mod touring car was just like it because it got so fast. Actually, on foam, it wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
But when we had to switch to rubber, that's when it got not good for me. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, I could see that.
You know, on foam, it was a riot.
Yeah, I bet rubber tire is boring after foam.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't miss the 2-stage foams and buzzing them down to nothing, and you're paying
some plaids.
You're paying
flat.
Yeah,
flat
you're paying $30 for a set of foams, and then you literally chop off 90% of the foam.
I still have my tire truer. I have the OFNA automated one.
Oh, really?
Oh. I bought it off somebody. I don't remember who. I think I got it from Chad Yost.
That tracks. You always have all that cool stuff.
Yeah. I do have his competition electronics charger.
Oh. Remember when I really thought when I first got my competition RC charger, I thought I was like the bee's knees. Like having that charger was a status symbol. It wasn't just a charger. It was like a status thing. Like when you showed up at a track and you had one of those, people were like, "Oh, that guy's going to be good."
Apparently, you can send those in and have them updated for LiPo.
I know.
I thought about doing it.
Yeah. It's crazy to think though how expensive those things were, and how now
you can get like $100 charger that charges at like 40 amps.
Yeah, I mean even the iChargers are kind of a status symbol, sort of.
Yeah.
But like my high tech RDX 1000 that I have, I love that thing.
Yeah.
You know, dual charger, $250. You can parallel charge it at 35 amps. I mean, that was crazy.
Yeah.
You know, even those little Gens Ace chargers. There's a very popular Gens Ace charger. It's $120, and it charges at like 16 amps, I think, and it's a dual charger.
You want to know what I just bought?
What'd you just buy?
Don't be mad. But I bought one of those toolkit RC chargers.
Oh.
It's like $135.
Yeah.
And it like you plug in your battery and it goes battery connected, like it talks to you.
Nice.
And that thing was only like $130 some and it charges at 30 amps.
Nice.
So yeah, I got one of those. I just got it yesterday or 2 days ago.
Yeah, it's crazy to think just the tech that we have at our that's available to us, and the prices for it compared to what like a competition RC charger used to. What were they? $500?
Something like that.
Yeah.
But I wanted to try it. I needed something that could charge at a higher amp rate.
Right.
And I didn't want to. And the reason is because like let's say you bump like mains or something.
Yeah, you gotta hustle up.
Yeah, and like I just wanted something kind of quick and dirty, just see how much I liked.
Yeah.
Something like that. So.
Yep. So yeah, a little bit of changes coming to the Plex as far as that goes, but I just feel like It's going to make the most sense for us. So I hope anybody out there that's upset or disappointed can see it from our point of view. And then again, it's not. I had one guy infer that we were closing, and I'm like, no. That's not what's happening. We're just adjusting what we're doing. Is all.
My thing is, okay, so like when people ask me like, I want to get into RC cars, and I want to race mod, or I want to race buggy, and I said, okay, so go buy a buggy. This is what you get. And then it's like 3 weeks later, they have like 5 cars, and they're trying to race all 5 cars on a club night, and then they do like a trophy race, and they're trying to put tires on all these cars and motors in them, and keep. It's like, and then they're like, well, how does anybody afford this? And it's like, well, you have like 10 cars now.
Yeah.
Well, so it's like buy one car and get really good at that one car.
Yeah.
So for the Plex, we had like dirt oval, carpet off road, carpet on road, 8 scale off road, 10 scale off road. Okay, we're kind of spreading ourselves kind of thin here for our budget for the racing that we can afford to produce.
Yeah.
And the quality of the racing we can produce.
Right.
So we don't want to have 6 different genres of RC that are just kind of 75% there.
Yeah.
Or in the carpet side, with the carpet that they have currently, we'll say 50%, because those guys are getting like kind of frustrated with the carpet getting ruined and whatever, and snags and all this stuff. And
well, not to mention the carpet got bad. Like for off-road racing, the carpet was bad. You could see it this Saturday.
Yeah. So I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, why don't we have like 4 things that we're really good at instead of 6 that kind of everything kind of suffers a little.
Yeah.
So that's the way I kind of see it, is like we're trying to step our game up on be really good at the stuff we do rather than just doing everything kind of 75%.
Yeah.
Is that a good way to explain it?
I hope so.
I mean, that's the way I take it. I mean, even like the oval guys are like, oh, oval is always just secondary, and it's like, well, it's because they do everything there. Like it's not that we're secondary; it's that like there's not time in the schedule to give us what we need yet.
Right.
But so I mean, of course, I love this. Like if there's talks of having like a oval club race, oh my god, a points race, I can just go screw around.
Yeah.
So,
or at least a couple more race days during the season. Instead of just having 5, we could have 7 or 8.
Yeah, or maybe a dirt oval trophy race.
Yeah,
like that'd be cool. 2-day event, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I even thought about it. We could add a techno series day.
Yeah.
Instead of having 5 rounds, we could have 6.
Yeah.
Nobody would be mad about that at all.
Yeah, and I think that what you're talking about, moving, making like a 10 scale, off-road track, is everything that we wanted. That's the whole reason why we started racing carpet, because we wanted a smaller, tighter track to get good at tiny tracks.
Yeah, but even just like being able to squeeze a 10 scale track inside of that same area and still use the dirt oval, that's my goal.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's an idea I have. I've got the dirt, we can probably figure out a way to do it. I don't know.
That or put it in the middle of the track like we used to have it.
Yeah. The hard part about that is the loop. The last time we strung the loop out that wide, there was a lot of missing laps, so I couldn't quite explain it. Then you got to run that wire all the way over there. So
it's like the driver's stand, or like the scoring booth needs to just be like a temporary one on the driver's stand for that race or something.
Yeah. The problem with the oval there is it cuts off the backside 15 feet or so.
Yeah.
So it makes the spacing awkward, because we're only 5. Basically, the Plex off-road is 5 lanes deep.
Mm-hmm.
So having the oval there where it was took up basically 3.5 lanes. So you wasted half of the fourth lane, and then your fifth lane was always weird.
Yeah.
So when we moved the oval to where it is now, it really helped open up the entire track to making an actual like off-road layout.
Right.
You know, and I think we've done a pretty good job of utilizing the oval the last couple of years without ruining it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I kind of wonder if like not only making it wider, but also making it longer too.
I tried making it longer one time, and they put my things back.
Oh.
So I tried making it longer, like lengthwise for you guys, by making the turn in a certain spot. And when I came in the next day, probably Tim had picked up those things and actually moved it back.
Yeah.
Another couple
Maybe
feet.
it was back then. It was like out too far and like in kind of the rough part.
Yeah.
The track out there.
If I won the lottery, there'd be a concrete walkway all the way down to the dirt oval driver stand.
Yeah.
But
that'd be cool.
That would be cool. So, I don't know. That's kind of all I got. Get signed up for the ProTech race for starters. We'll go through the comments here real quick too, but that's about all I can think of. I did want to do something with ProTech, and I hope you indulge me for a second. So every time that we do one of these podcasts now, what I want to do is I want to talk about some ProTech product that I like to use personally. Okay. And this one's going to be a no-brainer for all of you guys out there, but I did bring it because I wanted to discuss how important this tool is. And ProTech makes a good one. The sad part is, so does everybody else. So Associated makes a good one. J-Concepts makes a good one. Techno makes a really good. I mean, everybody makes a good one, but shock shaft pliers.
I knew that's what you were going to pull out.
You knew that I was going to pull out, right?
Yeah.
I love my shock shaft pliers because, and ProTech I've had these for a really long time, and these shock shaft pliers are one of the first ones that I used that had the little eyelet. What are those called?
I don't know. Eyelet insertion and extraction tool.
Yeah. So anyways, when you're replacing like the little eyelet balls in the swivels.
Eyelet.
Yeah,
eyelet.
The eyelet. Yeah. You just doop, pop that. But I also use this. So I use this to hold my turnbuckles when I'm putting turnbuckles on a brand new car. Mm-hmm. So Yokomo made this really cool tool. When you buy Yokomo ball cups, they give you this little plastic tool that inserts into a 7mm nut driver. It's a ball end tool, right? So I use this to hold the tie rod, and then I use my drill to go that in there. So that's another use for this thing. I also use these to hold my shocks. These two big holes here when you're tightening down the shock cap, right? Associated gives you a tool for that, but I also like to use this because my hands are fat, and so this is a little bit easier. And then I don't know, and then of course for shock shafts, so you don't scratch your shock shafts. This is like one of the most coolest tools ever. And my first pair of shock shaft pliers were Team Losi ones a long time ago, and I was going on. I remember at the Reedy race, I was going on this rant about how much I loved my shock shaft pliers. That where have they been all my life? I never even knew that these things existed. And I finally got these pliers, and it was awesome. And I remember Jason Coral was sitting right beside me, and he's like, "Hey, you know they stole that from me, right?" Or something of that effect. We're like he showed me a different pair of shock shaft pliers that had like all this stuff in it, and I was like, "Oh my god, that is cool!" Like, dang, that's an even better tool. And so then I've always been big on shock shaft pliers. So ProTech makes a really good pair, and they're priced pretty decently. So we always have them in stock at the Plex.
Nice.
So there you go. I've now done my part for. We need to make a name for that segment.
Yeah.
ProTech Product Spotlight.
Yeah, that'd be a good one.
ProTech Product Spotlight. There you go, Richard. Now it's time for the ProTech Product Spotlight.
Yeah.
So next week I'll have to think of something else. Or not next week, but next month.
Yeah.
Whenever we get together again. ProTech Minute. I like that. Nick Nuthouse. Drop it in the comments. All right.
Then we have to make sure it's a minute, though.
I don't know. Yeah, a little longer than a minute. Let's go through the comments here. Braxton Wallace wanted to know if you got out of that wedding yet. So apparently you've told everybody.
Everybody.
Schweisberger's on here. He says, "What's up? Good job at the INS. Thank you." Andy Barrett says that he's been taking 4,000 milligrams of vitamin C daily for the last 10 years, and he never gets sick anymore.
It's a lot.
That is a lot. How much is in a Kickstart? Vitamin C. Hold on.
How much is in a Kickstart? There's got to be some nutrients in this.
No. Vitamin C, 90 milligrams, 100% of your daily value allowance is in a Kickstart.
Wow.
And I drink 2 of these a day.
Wow.
I don't know.
The more you know.
Yeah, the more I know.
God, you're kind of a health nut now, you know?
Yeah. Also has, unfortunately, 17 grams of added sugars. I mean, honestly, Kickstarts aren't that bad. They shouldn't be that bad for you.
No, they shouldn't.
It's 33% of your daily sugar allowance is in 1 can.
Yeah.
So if I drink 2 cans, it's only 66%.
Yeah.
Let's see. Nick Nuthouse says, "Any chance you'll add Mini Truggy to the INS?" Oof. I don't know. I gotta look at that because our race never really sells out. We always end up in that 270, 280 range. And we do have a good local crowd for Mini Truggy, so I'll think about it. It's just the problem is it's another class with another set of mains and with another set of awards to buy. So inside baseball here, we go top 10 because I don't like to chintz out. If you make the main, I feel like you should get an award. So your top 10 awards are typically another $500 to $600.
Yeah.
You times that by, like, if we have 11 classes, I mean, that's a lot of money for awards. So, I don't know. I'll think about it. Yami R1M also says he's hoping for Mini Truggy at the INS race. Yeah, I'll think about it. We've had it before. I TQ'd in one a couple years ago. Again, I don't know. Mainly because I just had one.
Yeah.
Schweisberger wants to know if we're going to go to RC1 or Island this year. We're definitely not going to RC1. It's the same weekend as Will's Dirt Oval race, the Field of Dreams, and I got hired to run that race for Eric. And then Emerson's probably not going traveling to any RC car. We were thinking about going to Nationals, but guess what? Emerson graduates that Sunday. His graduation ceremony is that Sunday, so we're not going to go to Nats. You only graduate high school one time, so we're not going to Nats. I thought we could, but now that I know that that's in the cards, it's just not going to happen. So Emerson might go to Island. I'm not sure. He'll have to decide to go. I know I'm not going. There's a crawler event that I want to go to. It's that weekend, and I keep putting off these crawler events that I want to go to, and I finally want to go to one. So probably not.
Nice.
Not a huge carpet fan, anyways.
Nah.
Steve RC, I forgot. Alex Eichler. Alex Eichler bumped twice in 4-wheel drive.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
In Indy, he made it up to the B main. It was awesome. Steve RC says trackside was a lot of fun. Alex really enjoyed it, and it was his first 4-wheel drive race with 2 bump ups. And Anthony Sandy said he was pumped to see Emerson get TQ and win a truck. He was so close so many times, which is true. He led one year at our place, and his motor blew up with a minute left to go. And then he last year at Hoosier, he made a pass on Kyle that was pretty dope, and then he crashed like the next turn and then ended up in second. So, yeah, he finally got one. I was pretty happy about that. Braxton says he'll bring a late model if I bring the electronics. Anthony wants to know if there'll be some sort of 10 scale dirt winter series. Probably, I don't know. Well, I'll see what I can fit. That's what I was talking about earlier with this idea I have floating around in my head. Tiny Tuesdays will still be going on no matter what. They don't hurt anything, so that was a question on here. Nick Nuthouse wants to know if we'll do an idiot's guide to on-road.
There's that old Triple X main book.
Yeah, and I've actually, there is a video, there's a YouTube video that I did about 5 years ago now that kind of goes through the on-road classes, so it's probably kind of old, I guess, because some of the classes have changed. But I know I've been asked that before, and I probably should do something, at least like how to set up, get a TTO2 ready to go or something. Santy says he's going to have a 22 5.0 buggy for sale after the crash in. Nathan says that Gen's Ace Charger I mentioned is awesome. We sell quite a few of them, actually. Can we get all the big jumps for the last carpet race going? Yeah, the crash in always has some crazy stuff, so I'll probably end up pulling out most of them. I had a lot of help this Thursday. I was sick, so Dalton Conrad, Trevor Brinkman, Nathan May helped me set up the track, which was very, very nice, and I didn't really have to do much, so that saved my strength. Honestly, I was feeling horrible that Friday still, so that was pretty awesome. So we'll see. We'll get a group together, and we're not having Hot Wheels on Thursday, so I plan on building the track on Thursday. They're asking about wheelchair accessibility for the oval. There really isn't any. That's the only real downside about where that's at. Another name idea is the Hobbyplex Protect product plug. That's a good one.
That's pretty good.
That's a good one. I like that one. Anthony Santi. So everybody makes stock shop players now. Hobbyplex, the
Hobbytown brand ones.
Yeah, they're actually pretty good. I've got a set of those myself, actually. So,
I was gonna mention it, but I didn't want to kill the spot.
I know. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, I think that's about it. I think we'll it's next. Crash In is next weekend. It's a Friday practice, Saturday race, 3 qualifiers in Maine. And we'll try to set up some sort of cool track. We'll have the track to ourselves, I think. So we'll try to make something cool. One more thing about the thing. So we have had a gentleman in a wheelchair race from the fence line. There's no banners. Yeah. There's no banners there or anything. So it is possible to do that.
Yeah. Jason Morey, I think, does.
Yes. Yeah, you're right.
And I think there are some people that drive from the off-road driver's stand.
I think that's where Jason goes, actually.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, pretty sure. So yeah, that spot, the handicap spot on the driver's stand is right on the corner, so you can see just about everything from there. All right. I think that's pretty good. That's a pretty good show.
Yeah, good show.
No super funny stories or anything like that for myself, but
nah,
I don't know. We had a lot to talk about in this one. Some recaps and all that good stuff.
Yeah, that's what's kind of nice about being once a month. We got a lot more content.
That's true. Yeah.
There for a while. It's like, wow, what are we talking about?
What are we talking about? Yeah. I still think episode 14, back in the COVID days, where we actually didn't have anything to talk about, still one of our funniest shows, though.
Yeah.
Oh, before we go, I had a guy. Oh my God. He called the Mojave a Moj. It was, I got one of those Mojays. I was like, what the hell is a Moj? And then I looked and he was pointing at the Mojave, and I was like, oh, the Mojave. That's pretty cool. He's like, yeah, that Moj is pretty cool. Pretty awesome. I really like it. It's like,
yeah.
Great.
Keep it up. That's funny.
Anyways,
That's
all right.
a good one. I've never heard that.
Moj. It's like Moj. You forgot the second half of the word.
That sounds like a request for more J's. You know.
Speaking of that, dude, another thing that happened yesterday. It's first Sunday. It's the first day I've worked in a store, and probably like because I called in sick Thursday, so it been like 3 days, and somebody was speaking of J's.
Yeah.
Somebody was
skanky.
Yeah. I was trying to find a word that didn't exactly say what they were doing, but boy, it lingers. Why does it linger so long?
I wouldn't know. I don't know.
It takes like
what are you trying to say?
It takes like an hour to get rid of that once it's there.
I have no idea how long it would take. I've never touched stuff.
Yeah, me neither. All right. Anyways, we better go. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Will. Thanks, ProTech RC for getting up on the banner for us and donating all those door prizes and being our title sponsor for the ProTech race.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And we'll see you again. It should be probably another 3 weeks, maybe 3 or 4 weeks. We'll probably do one after we'll try to do one. Well, the Field of Dreams race is the end of March.
Yeah.
So we'll try to get one in before then, I guess.
Okay.
All right. Anyways.
See you guys.
Bye.
Mm.